This is a tutorial for the Omnipress License Manager. So you have a license manager that's probably tied between a storefront and one or more of your online websites and or libraries. So in order to get access to that, just ask your project manager and they will set you up within the system, and you will get an email like you can see here. And then you would see your credentials. It would be tied to your email, your new password, and then you can click on the link at this point. This link is going to take you to the license manager portal. So I'm actually going to click log out. Okay, so it would go to LM, that's larrymichael.omnipress.com, lm.omnipress.com for license manager. You'd go ahead and log in with those credentials that were in that email. And if you, for whatever reason, have come to this at another point and you don't remember what your password is, you don't know where that email went, you can simply go down here to the forgot password area and that will reset your password for you. But I know what my email, password is. Let's go ahead and enter that. Third time's a charm. All right, so first thing I'm going to see is the list of the subscriptions that are within my site or sites. And you can tell which site it is by the website URL. If you did have different ones, you'd see different URLs here. Again, that's unlikely, but it's possible. So what am I looking at here? I'm looking at a list of the organization that owns that particular subscription. It might just be a single individual. It might be a multi-user subscription like all of these are. The name of the owner of that, again, the URL, the number of users. If it was a personal license and not an organizational license, that would be a 1/1 versus like 0 out of 6 here. And the expiration date, so that's year, month, day, just because it works a lot better that way. So if I need to do any filtering, I can filter by the number of days until the expiration is coming up, or 7 days, 30 days, anything that's already expired. And then I can also search here too. So if I wanted to see just find anybody named Tim, for example, that will load that there too. I can edit subscriptions from here. So if I click into this one, I can click edit on the very top. Or I could just view it, obviously. But if I did need to change anything here, I'd be able to do so. Although if you are going to change something, odds are you're probably not changing anything in the organization or website. The two areas that you'd be most likely to change would be users. Maybe you need to extend the number of users to 4, for example, in this case. Or maybe you wanted to roll their expiration date out, above or below what they typically had. Like you might want to extend their expiration date. And you can just click save. And then that locks that in. I really wouldn't mess with the SKUs, the SKUs, or the subscription tags unless you've had a somewhat in-depth conversation with your project manager and maybe a little bit of documentation. Typically, I've found instead of, if we go back to the subscription page, instead of editing access within a subscription or adding new subscriptions like you can see up here, oftentimes it makes more sense to give someone, if you need to give it away for free, for example, give someone a coupon code and have them go through the storefront and purchase one of your subscription options for free versus doing it within here. But if you do need to add a subscription in here, again, that's something that your project manager can go a little more in depth with you, because that will be specific to your site or sites. I can't really show it in this video right now. All right, so that's where you get your list of subscriptions and can alter them if you did need to change expiration dates or users. If I go to administration, I'm going to see all of the people that are associated with my site or sites. In this case, I can see, here's me, I'm a site administrator, and here's the different organizational managers that we have within here too. Again, I can filter on those. I can see who's here. I can go in and edit any of the managers. For example, because I'm a site manager, you probably don't want to do that. But maybe you need to reset their password. Again, odds are Omnipress Technical Support is taking care of that. But the one thing that you may want to do, although your project manager is happy to do this for you too, is you may want to, in the top right corner, add an account and maybe add additional site administrators that are within your organization that will have the same level of access that you're seeing here. Maybe you have some coworkers that you need to help use this. They can do that too. So a couple other things I didn't mention, again, because it's not very likely that you'd necessarily be using this. Within the overall subscriptions, you have the ability to export all of these. Maybe you might need that for bookkeeping, or if you want to see everything in Excel listed by expiration date or something like that for your own internal records. That might be important to you. And in addition to that, within each subscription, if I go ahead and go to users, assuming that it has more than one user associated with it, I also have the ability to import users, or I can simply invite them too. So if I want to import, I would use a template, and I can either download the blank template or a sample and then just fill that in. It's basically name, email address, and then import that, and all the users will go directly into that particular subscription. Or I could just invite people from here too. So this is fine. And you can have them either as a user or a co-manager. A user is someone who has access to that subscription. A co-manager has access to administer that subscription. They don't necessarily, actually, they don't get access to the content unless they are a user. So you could be, in order to be a co-manager and get access to the content, you'd be both a co-manager and a user. Note that co-managers do not take up slots. You could have a 3-person subscription and 6 co-managers on it. That'd be kind of ridiculous, but it is possible. One other thing I probably should add you notice that we could export people in the previous area when you have all your lists of subscriptions. You can also do that within your list of users. So if one of your end users, for example, owns a subscription with 50 people in it, and they don't want to have to manage necessarily everything through here, they can simply just export that right out of the system into Excel. Finally, there is a place for you to go to your profile and, as well as that, change your password or log out. If you do need to change your password, maybe you didn't like the one that you got, you can simply put in your current one and then type in a new password, understanding it needs to be 8 characters. You need to have at least 1 letter. One of them has to be capital. You need at least 1 number, and you need at least 1 symbol. And then just simply click change, and that'll take care of it for you. So again, this is meant as just-in-time training. If you don't remember how to do something, if you need or have a specific question that wasn't covered by your project manager or wasn't covered in this video, please contact them and they'd be happy to help you, especially if you're talking about maybe some of the more detailed items, such as modifying or adding current subscriptions as far as what type of access they're getting. Adding users and changing expiration dates, I think, is something that you should probably be able to do without their assistance. Thank you.